What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Now, kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. Y'all, first off, I just gotta thank y'all for just subscribing, mashing that like button, commenting on all the videos, sharing your thoughts. Hey, man, I appreciate all the support, the love, and we just getting started. My breezies, the family out there, baby. But, man, I gotta talk about something today that's been weighing on me. So, I seen this graphic of Bronny James going around, showing his current stats at USC. And, through 14 games, it hasn't been exactly what we expected. And I want to talk about that a little bit because obviously right now he's not ready for the NBA. And that's okay. He's a freshman. I understand that the expectation here is for him to follow his dad's footsteps and live up to that type of hype. But, I mean, that's dang near impossible. It's unfair expectations. Y'all gotta realize, LeBron hunger was different. He needed basketball to survive and to thrive in this world and to get to where he is today. Bronny could quit basketball right now and he would still be good. That urgency, that hunger, that desire just naturally isn't going to be the same. And I'm not saying that he doesn't want it because he wouldn't be at this point right now if he didn't. But we all need to rest up a little bit. Ease up. He's a freshman. He's played 14 college games. He's not ready for the NBA right now. And that's okay. But before we get any deeper, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest. And join our memberships. We got that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Now, let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
So this graphic has been going around X, and a lot of people have been just chiming in. A lot of unfair comments, man. A lot of rush to judgment. Obviously, you look at the stat line, 5.6 points per game, 2.8 rebounds, 2.0, 2 assists. We're looking at it, and obviously these numbers are very humbling. They're not going to blow anybody away. But he's a freshman, and we all know if his dad wasn't a certain someone, one of the greatest, if not the greatest basketball player to ever touch a basketball, this wouldn't even be news. But with all the comments, I gotta say, man, it was worth speaking out about. It was worth sharing my thoughts because I think that he's being unfairly judged right now. I think Bronny has shown in flashes what he is capable of. He is just as good as an athlete as LeBron. Maybe a better playmaker at this point. He's a point guard, though. He's not 6'8", 250. He's 6'4", around 210. We're talking about a point guard. Now, right now, he's coming off a big game. He just helped USC snap a 6-game losing streak, man. They have been terrible as a program this year, I'm going to be honest. They have been battling some injuries, though. They just lost the number one player in the nation, Isaiah Collier, to a broken hand. And that has provided more minutes from Bronny. If you look at it right now, he's averaging 5.9, a little bit more than that graphic. 2.9 rebounds, 2.6 assists, shooting 37% from the field, a little over 37%. Numbers aren't going to blow anybody away. We get that. But you can see the more playing time he's gotten, he's improved. And before we dive even too much into the numbers, I want to say this was, if we scroll back, this was just a very unfortunate and unusual start to a college career for Bronny James, having the collapse before the season on the court due to the heart issue. He works his way back through that, perseveres, easily could have just hung it up and never played again. He'd have been good either way. Works back, gets back in shape, and, takes the court. Now, he's played in 14 games so far. We've seen flashes. We've seen him score double digits. We've seen him take on some of the toughest opposition as far as holding the other team's leading scorer. He's looking to be that lockdown perimeter defender. We're seeing that. We've seen him rack up 13 assists over USC's last 2 games with him playing majority of the minutes at the point guard position. We've seen some positives. We've seen some things that he can build on. I think it would take a lot of pressure off if not telling nobody how to live their lives, but if Bron were to come out and to say, because we know he wants to play with Bron. We know that. He's not going to retire until he plays with Bron, and we know that. And him being a free agent and being unsure about that player option, just the fact that they would be a package deal is enough for a team to draft Bronny. So I'm not saying that he wouldn't get drafted if he went pro right now, because somebody's gonna take a chance, especially if you got a chance of getting Bron. You're definitely gonna make that pick. I get that part, but is he ready to contribute to an NBA roster right now, an NBA rotation? No. Flat out, no. We've seen the positives. We've seen what he can build on. But right now, it's mostly potential we talking about. No, he is not ready. We got to see him lead a college team first. I mean, he's just now, starting for USC. And we're talking about him contributing and getting minutes in the NBA game? No. And I mean, I saw those comments people were talking about too, about commenting on that quote that was taken out, that was put out there saying that Bron said that Bronny would be able to play for the Lakers right now. There's no way. We just gotta be honest. They don't even have minutes for Jalen Hood-Schifino out there. Bronny's not getting any minutes with LA. He's not getting minutes with the Lakers. He's not getting minutes with the Wizards right now. I mean, there's some college programs he would have a tough time getting minutes on right now. Let's be honest. But when you come in, not only are you a McDonald's All-American, a 5-star recruit, they had a kid who's killing at Georgia right now, and Silas DeMary Jr., who decommitted, and then Bronny came. I don't know if that was connected, but it kind of felt like it, because as soon as the kid decommitted, Bronny committed soon after. So we see, the expectations. You're a McDonald's All-American. You got a TV show on Amazon Prime. We've been following you. You've been on the cover of magazines. You're LeBron James' son, literally the greatest player to come through the NBA, other than maybe Michael Jordan, if that's how you feel. I'm not here to debate that. But with all those expectations, you start your college career off with a health scare, not knowing if you're going to be able to play basketball again. You work your way back. You are now the starting point guard for USC, a team that is struggling severely in a Pac-12 conference that feels like should be up for grabs for anybody, and maybe they can make a run. You know what I'm saying? But you lose Isaiah Collier. Boogie Ellis has been up and down, but he's your best player at this point. You know what I'm saying? DJ Rodman still figuring it out, but a lot of expectations and a lot of odds that were on this team, man. And kind of like the football team with USC's football team with Caleb Williams. A lot of odds they didn't really deliver. We're seeing that with the basketball team now, man. And Coach Einfeld is a great coach, man. He's out there doing his thing. He's kept them consistent for a while. USC's typically in the NCAA tournament. They've been solid under him. But this year is brutal. The injuries have taken a toll. But now we're seeing on the other side, Bronny's getting more minutes, right? There's a lot of pressure. We know that there's another gear that he can get to if you've watched him, if you followed him, that he hasn't really unlocked yet in college. He hasn't really unleashed his full arsenal right now. So we're still waiting to see. But I think the best thing would be for him to stay in college a few years, maybe 2, maybe 3. Maybe stay to your senior year and develop and continue to learn how to be a leader, continue to polish up on your skill set, continue to build confidence, continue to just harness your ability and perfect your craft, and then go into the NBA a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more experienced, a little bit more advanced, more polished. Because if we being honest, what we're seeing right now, 14 games is a small sample size, but he has not played enough college ball to be prepared for that NBA jump. I don't care who your father is. Now, I'm not saying Bronny is a bust or this is a bad experiment, wasted. We're not calling him overhyped. This is not a video to bash Bronny, because I think that there is some talent there, and I think that he is continuing to work and find his stride. Like I said, 13 assists in the last 2 games for SC. Really, really locking in on that point guard position. And you just see the more minutes he's gotten over time, the more that we've seen that he can produce. Definitely got to get right on the 3-point shooting. But just, seeing his field goal percentage, he's had some really good, efficient games in small sample sizes. Getting it done, man. Honestly, just playing both sides. We've seen him scoring double figures twice, had 15 points, which is a season high. Oh, excuse me, 3 times. Had 10 points in one game, had 11 in another game, and then most recently had 9 and 6. A really efficient game for him, man. And a game where his assist to turnover ratio was 6-1. And you look at it in the last 2 games, his assist to turnover ratio is 13-2. He's rebounding the basketball. He's stuffing the stat sheet. He's getting steals. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the more that the ball's been in his hands the last couple of games, we're seeing some bright spots right now, man. We're seeing that he can run a team and play the point guard position. Like I said, last 2 games, 13 assists to 2 turnovers. The more he's had the ball in his hands, the more efficient he's been. Still, 9 points, not blowing anybody away, but the scoring will come. And his teammates seem to have a belief in him. The coaching staff have a belief in him to continue to push forward. But it's 14 games, guys. What are we really talking about here? A freshman, 14 games through his college career right now? Of course there's going to be some hiccups. He started 4 games. There's a lot of growth, but there's a lot to build on that we're seeing too. So I think we just got to give it time. We got to give it time, man. But as far as being a one and done, I don't think so. I don't think that's in the cards right now. Maybe next year he takes a huge jump. I'm not saying he needs to stay to his senior year, but maybe that's the best thing. And I know the family that group, that village around him, they're gonna do what's best for him at the end of the day. But just on outsider looking in, y'all, I mean, it's been a slow build. 14 games, small sample size, but haven't really been blown away so far. See it in flashes. I think by the end of the year, there will be steady improvement, steady improvement, and we'll keep seeing Bronny continue to just, sharpen that skill set. Maybe USC can turn around and win some games. They're tied for last in the Pac-12 right now. Overall, they've just been really bad. They're 9-13 on the year, 3-8 in conference play. Bronny, like I said, has played 14 games, started in 4. And like I said, his teammates like DJ Rodman are showing that they believe in his ability to run the point guard position. He was quoted saying, he's made a lot of growth as a point guard specifically. I feel like he's definitely taken a backseat to his skill instead of making something happen. He's one of the most talented players I've played with, and he can lean back on his talent a little bit. I think it was just one of those things where he needed to grow into college basketball. He needs to continue to grow into college basketball. The shots will fall. He had a pretty bad shooting slump for 3 games. He missed a lot of 3-pointers. But the shots will fall. You keep being confident. You keep finding a rhythm. I love that he's able to impact the game without having to score the basketball, just like his dad. He has that in common where he doesn't have to score. He impacts the game in all different aspects. So you love that he's a committed defender. You know what I'm saying? 6'4", athletic. Has the potential to be a lockdown. I think, potentially he's a 3-and-D guy in the league when he does get there. But showing the playmaking ability as a point guard too. I'm not here to put a ceiling on anybody. I'm just, pointing out what the kid does well right now. So I think there's definitely something to build on here, though. I think, moving forward, he will continue to improve. He will continue to find his spots and get comfortable scoring. The game will slow down for him. We're 14 games in, people. It's no need to panic. But I think he is showing steady improvement, especially being a point guard. Especially just through the last 2 games. And I think moving forward, him getting those minutes. Isaiah Collier is expected to be back before season's end. So I think they'll continue, hopefully build that chemistry and build off one another. Because Collier coming back, he's a ball-dominant guard as well. So they'll continue to work to figure out how to just be the most efficient offense they can be. But hey, the sky, it's looking up. It's looking up. There's a little light at the end of the tunnel. They got a lot of work to do, though. They got a big hill to climb. But hey, as far as Bronny, I think he'll be just fine. 14 games in, not exactly the impact we're expecting. Kind of like what Juju Watkins is doing on the women's side. We're not seeing that type of impact from Bronny right now, but I think he will be a great college player and, be a player that has a career in the NBA as well. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, man. Holler at your boy. I just had to get that off my chest. That's how I was feeling. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. That's a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Until next time, hey, we out.